We've all been there, staring at a task that needs to be done but finding every excuse in the world to avoid it. Maybe it's a big project, an important email, or even something as simple as cleaning the house. The more we put it off, the heavier it feels. Procrastination creeps in and steals our time, leaving us feeling frustrated, stressed, and overwhelmed. The truth is, procrastination is a problem that many of us face, and if you don't address it, it can derail your success. But here's the good news. Procrastination is not a permanent condition. It doesn't have to control your life. You have the power to overcome it, and it starts with understanding why it happens and taking small steps to break the cycle. In this audiobook, we'll dive into simple, actionable techniques you can implement immediately to start overcoming procrastination and getting things done. Step 1. Understand why you procrastinate. The first step in overcoming procrastination is understanding why you do it in the first place. Procrastination often comes from a place of fear, doubt, or overwhelm. Maybe you're afraid of failing. Maybe you don't feel like you're good enough. Or maybe you feel overwhelmed by the sheer size of the task ahead. Whatever the reason, procrastination is your mind's way of avoiding discomfort. It's a form of self-sabotage, but the good news is, it's also something you can change. Understanding the underlying cause of your procrastination is key to breaking the cycle. Ask yourself, why are you avoiding the task? Is it fear? Perfectionism? Laziness? Lack of motivation? Once you identify the cause, you can address it directly. For example, if you're avoiding a project because you're afraid of failure, you can counter that fear by focusing on the small steps you can take to make progress, rather than stressing over the potential outcome. If you're overwhelmed by the size of a task, break it down into manageable pieces. By addressing the root cause of your procrastination, you take away its power. Step 2. Break down tasks into small, manageable steps. One of the biggest reasons we procrastinate is that we view tasks as too big or overwhelming. We look at a project and think, I'll never finish this. It's too much. The sheer size of the task paralyzes us. We don't know where to start, so we don't start at all. The key to overcoming this type of procrastination is breaking the task down into smaller, more manageable steps. When a project feels overwhelming, simply break it into bite-sized pieces. Instead of thinking, I need to write this entire report, think, I will write the introduction today. Instead of, I need to clean the entire house, focus on one room or even one section of the room. When you break down the task into smaller steps, you reduce the pressure and make it easier to take action. It also gives you a sense of accomplishment as you complete each small step, building momentum to continue moving forward. Start by writing down the tasks you need to complete and then break each one down into smaller, specific actions. For example, if your goal is to write a book, your first step might be to outline the chapters, followed by writing a paragraph each day. By breaking it down into manageable chunks, you remove the feeling of being overwhelmed and set yourself up for success. Step 3. Use the 5-minute rule to get started. The hardest part of any task is getting started. Once you begin, the momentum takes over and the task feels much more manageable. But getting that first step done can feel like the biggest hurdle. That's where the 5-minute rule comes in. The 5-minute rule is simple. Commit to working on the task for just 5 minutes. Tell yourself, I'll just work on this for 5 minutes, and if I still don't feel like it, I can stop. Most of the time, once you get started, you'll find that you want to keep going. 5 minutes is all it takes to push through that initial resistance. The 5-minute rule works because it reduces the pressure you put on yourself to complete the entire task in one sitting. You're not committing to hours of work, just 5 minutes. This makes it easier to get started, and once you begin, you'll often find that the task isn't as bad as you thought. This rule works for any task, big or small. Whether it's writing, cleaning, studying, or exercising, telling yourself that you only need to work for 5 minutes helps to overcome the resistance and get you into action. Try it the next time you feel the urge to procrastinate. Step 4. Eliminate distractions. Procrastination thrives on distractions. It's easy to get sidetracked by notifications, social media, or random thoughts. Every time you stop to check your phone or get distracted by something else, you lose focus and delay the task even more. To overcome procrastination, you need to eliminate as many distractions as possible. The more focused you are on the task at hand, the quicker you'll get it done. Set yourself up for success by creating a work environment that minimizes distractions. Start by turning off your phone or putting it in another room. If you're working on a computer, use apps that block distracting websites or social media platforms. If you're in a noisy environment, consider using noise-canceling headphones or listening to focus-enhancing music or white noise. The key is to create a space where you can work uninterrupted. The fewer distractions you have, the easier it will be to stay focused and complete the task. If you're still finding it hard to stay focused, try setting a timer. Use the Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. This structure keeps you accountable and ensures that you're using your time effectively. Step 5. Reward yourself for taking action. One of the most effective ways to overcome procrastination is by setting up rewards for yourself. Humans are naturally motivated by rewards, and the anticipation of a reward can push you to take action. When you complete a task or hit a milestone, reward yourself. This doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It could be something small like taking a break, having a snack, or watching an episode of your favorite show. The reward should feel like a positive reinforcement for the effort you've put in. The act of rewarding yourself creates a positive feedback loop. The more you reward yourself for taking action, the more motivated you'll be to continue taking action in the future. Over time, the habit of taking immediate action becomes ingrained, and procrastination becomes less of a problem. Make sure that your rewards are tied to completing a task or reaching a goal. Don't reward yourself before you do the work. This way, the reward will feel earned, and the satisfaction will motivate you to keep going. Step 6. Change your mindset about procrastination. Procrastination is often linked to a negative mindset. When you think of procrastination as a bad habit or laziness, it creates guilt and shame which only fuel the cycle. Instead of viewing procrastination as something to be ashamed of, see it as an opportunity for growth and learning. Procrastination is a signal that something needs to change. It's a sign that you may be avoiding something because it feels uncomfortable or overwhelming. Instead of beating yourself up for procrastinating, take a step back and ask yourself why. What's holding you back? Are you afraid of failure? Do you feel unprepared? Is the task too big? Changing your mindset around procrastination allows you to approach it with compassion and understanding. Rather than punishing yourself, ask yourself, what can I do to make this task easier? What small step can I take to move forward? By reframing procrastination as an opportunity to solve a problem, you can break the cycle and start taking action. Step 7. Create a sense of urgency. One of the reasons procrastination thrives is because of the lack of urgency. We tend to put things off because we don't feel a pressing need to act. Without a sense of urgency, tasks can feel distant and non-urgent, even when they are important. This is where the power of creating urgency comes into play. When you create urgency, you force yourself to focus on the task at hand and eliminate distractions. Urgency sparks action and breaks the cycle of procrastination. It drives you to move forward quickly and decisively, preventing your goals from slipping through the cracks. A powerful way to create urgency is by setting deadlines for yourself. Often we procrastinate because we don't have a set time by which something must be completed. Deadlines, whether self-imposed or external, add pressure to act. But instead of waiting for deadlines to come naturally, take charge and set your own deadlines. You can also break large projects into smaller tasks and set mini deadlines for each one. This creates a sense of urgency for each step, making it less overwhelming and easier to manage. For example, if you're working on a long-term project, set deadlines for completing each part of the project, such as research, outlining, drafting, and reviewing. These mini deadlines will help you stay on track and prevent you from putting off the entire project until the last minute. Another effective method to create urgency is to envision the consequences of not acting. What will happen if you don't complete this task today? What impact will it have on your goals, your career, your relationships, or your well-being? When you create a mental picture of the negative outcomes, you give yourself a reason to act now rather than later. The fear of missing out on something important can be a powerful motivator to overcome procrastination. Finally, remind yourself of the benefits of completing the task. When you focus on the positive outcome, Whether it's the satisfaction of completing a goal, the relief of no longer having to worry about the task, or the progress you'll make toward your larger vision, you'll find the urgency to take immediate action. Step 8. Change your environment to support your goals. Your environment plays a critical role in shaping your behavior and productivity. If you're working in an environment filled with distractions, clutter, or negative energy, it's much harder to focus and take action. To overcome procrastination, you need to set up an environment that supports your goals and encourages productivity. Start by decluttering your workspace. A tidy, organized environment helps clear your mind and allows you to focus better. When your surroundings are cluttered, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and distracted. Take some time to clean up your workspace, get rid of unnecessary items, and create an environment that feels calm and conducive to work. In addition to physical clutter, consider the digital distractions that contribute to procrastination. Social media, emails, and constant notifications are all major productivity killers. To eliminate these distractions, consider using apps or browser extensions that block social media and time-wasting websites during work sessions. Set specific times throughout the day to check your emails or messages, rather than allowing them to interrupt your focus constantly. You can also create a work environment that inspires you. Surround yourself with things that motivate and energize you, whether it's a vision board, quotes that remind you of your goals, or tools that help you stay organized. By intentionally designing your environment to align with your goals, you'll find it easier to stay focused and motivated. Finally, consider the energy of the people around you. If you're spending time with people who are negative, unproductive, or discouraging, it can have a detrimental effect on your mindset and your ability to take action. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who push you to be your best, and who encourage you to keep moving forward. A supportive environment can make all the difference when it comes to overcoming procrastination. Step 9. Find your why, and use it to fuel your motivation. Procrastination often happens when we lose sight of why we're doing something. When you're disconnected from your why, the reason behind your actions, it's easy to lose motivation and procrastinate. To overcome procrastination, you need to reconnect with your deeper purpose. Your why is the emotional driver that fuels your motivation and keeps you focused on your goals, even when things get tough. It's the reason you want to achieve your goals in the first place, and it provides the meaning behind your actions. Without a strong why, you'll struggle to stay motivated. Start by asking yourself, why do you want to complete this task? What will it bring you once it's finished? Whether it's personal growth, financial freedom, a sense of accomplishment, or the ability to help others, understanding your why is key to staying focused and motivated. When you reconnect with your why, it brings clarity and passion to your goals. This deeper connection can help you overcome resistance and push through procrastination. For example, if you're avoiding a fitness routine, ask yourself why it's important. Is it because you want to feel more energized, live a longer, healthier life, or improve your self-confidence? Reconnecting with these deeper motivations will make it easier to take action. Keep your why front and center by writing it down and reading it regularly. Post it in a place where you can see it every day or say it out loud as a daily affirmation. Let your why remind you of the bigger picture and inspire you to keep going, even when procrastination rears its ugly head. Step 10. Be kind to yourself and embrace imperfection. One of the biggest reasons people procrastinate is because they fear failure or fear that their work won't be perfect. Perfectionism is a major barrier to progress, and it's often at the heart of procrastination. The desire to get everything perfect can paralyze you, making it impossible to take action. To overcome this, you need to let go of perfectionism. Accept that things don't have to be perfect to get started. In fact, perfectionism often prevents you from completing anything at all. Instead of striving for perfection, focus on progress. The key is to take action even if it's not flawless. You can always improve, adjust, and refine later. One way to move past perfectionism is by adopting a good enough mentality. Tell yourself that what you're doing is good enough for now, and that the task will evolve as you continue to work on it. By giving yourself permission to be imperfect, you allow yourself the freedom to take action without the fear of failure. It's also important to practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you slip up or make mistakes. Everyone procrastinates at some point, and it's okay. The key is to recognize it, learn from it, and get back on track. Self-compassion helps reduce the negative emotions associated with procrastination, such as guilt and shame, and allows you to approach tasks with a positive, solution-focused mindset. We've now explored more techniques for overcoming procrastination, such as creating urgency, changing your environment, reconnecting with your why, and letting go of perfectionism. Each of these strategies is designed to empower you to take immediate action and stop procrastinating. Step 11. Use accountability to stay on track. One of the most effective ways to overcome procrastination is by using accountability. When you're the only one responsible for your progress, it can be easy to let things slide. But when someone else is involved, it adds a layer of responsibility and motivation to get things done. Accountability creates a sense of urgency and provides external motivation, making it harder to procrastinate. Start by telling someone about your goals. It could be a friend, family member, colleague, or even an online accountability partner. The act of sharing your goals out loud makes them more real, and it sets the expectation that you will follow through. Accountability doesn't have to be a formal arrangement. It can be as simple as checking in with someone every week to share your progress. You can also set up accountability systems for yourself. For example, create a public commitment. Whether it's sharing your progress on social media, blogging about your journey, or joining a group where you can report your milestones. Knowing that others are aware of your progress increases the pressure to stay on track and avoid procrastination. Another powerful accountability tool is a reward system. Reward yourself for completing tasks or hitting milestones. When you have a tangible incentive, it becomes easier to take action and avoid procrastination. Your reward could be a small treat, a break, or even a fun activity that you've been wanting to do. Using rewards to celebrate progress helps keep you motivated and reinforces positive behavior. Incorporating accountability into your routine helps you stay focused and motivated. When you have someone to answer to, it becomes much harder to put things off. And when you combine accountability with other techniques like breaking tasks into smaller steps, you'll find that procrastination becomes less of an issue. Step 12. Visualize success to combat procrastination. Visualization is a powerful tool for overcoming procrastination. When we procrastinate, we often focus on the negative feelings associated with a task: fear of failure, overwhelm, or the discomfort of getting started. These negative emotions feed our procrastination. But visualization allows you to shift your focus toward the positive outcome of completing the task, which helps reduce anxiety and creates motivation. To start, take a few minutes each day to visualize yourself successfully completing the task you've been putting off. Imagine yourself taking action, making progress, and achieving the result you want. Visualize how you'll feel once the task is done: relieved, accomplished, and proud. This simple practice works because it taps into the power of your imagination. When you visualize success, your brain begins to associate the task with positive emotions rather than negative ones. It starts to see the process as something rewarding rather than something to avoid. This positive reinforcement helps shift your mindset, making you more likely to take action. Visualization can also help you break large tasks down into smaller, more manageable steps. Imagine yourself going through each phase of the task, one step at a time. This helps you overcome the feeling of being overwhelmed and gives you a clear mental roadmap for getting started. Try incorporating visualization into your daily routine. Spend a few minutes before you begin working on a task imagining yourself finishing it successfully. See yourself handling any challenges that come up along the way with ease. Visualization is a powerful tool that helps you see the task as achievable, not intimidating, which makes it easier to take the first step. Step 13. Develop the do-it-now mentality. One of the most effective ways to overcome procrastination is to develop the do-it-now mentality. This simple yet powerful mindset shifts your focus from thinking about what needs to be done to taking immediate action. It eliminates the tendency to delay and helps you take control of your time. The next time you feel yourself putting something off, remind yourself to do it now. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait until you feel like it. Just do it. The longer you wait to start, the harder it becomes to take action. The do it now mentality breaks the habit of hesitation and eliminates the excuses that lead to procrastination. This mindset works because it removes the decision-making process that often leads to overthinking. Instead of sitting there, debating whether you should work or put it off for another hour, you commit to taking action immediately. By making it a habit to act without delay, you train yourself to tackle tasks head-on and make consistent progress. Another great way to develop the do-it-now mentality is by using the 2-minute rule. If a task will take less than 2 minutes to complete, do it right away. This rule applies to both small and larger tasks. Something is quick and simple, don't put it off, just do it. By applying this principle to everything you do, you eliminate the pileup of tasks that might otherwise lead to procrastination. The more you practice the do-it-now mentality, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you'll find that procrastination becomes a thing of the past, and you're consistently taking action and making progress without hesitation. Step 14. Manage your energy, not just your time. Time management is important, but managing your energy is even more crucial. You can have all the time in the world, but if you're not working with full energy and focus, you won't get much done. Procrastination often occurs when we feel drained or uninspired, and pushing through when you're exhausted can be counterproductive. Instead of trying to fit everything into your schedule, focus on managing your energy. Pay attention to when you feel most energized and productive during the day, and schedule your most important tasks during those times. For example, if you're a morning person, tackle your hardest work in the early hours when you have the most mental clarity. If you feel most energized in the afternoon, save lighter tasks for later in the day. You can also manage your energy by taking regular breaks. The Pomodoro technique, which involves working for 25 minutes followed by a 5-minute break, is one way to keep your energy levels high throughout the day. During your break, step away from your desk, stretch, hydrate, or go for a short walk to recharge. Another important aspect of energy management is maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Ensure you're getting enough sleep, eating nutritious meals, exercising regularly, and practicing stress-reducing activities like meditation or yoga. A well-rested, healthy body supports a focused and energized mind, making it easier to take action and avoid procrastination. Step 15. Keep your goals visible and top of mind. One of the easiest ways to combat procrastination is to keep your goals visible. When you can see your goals every day, it reminds you of why you're working hard and gives you a clear direction. It helps you stay focused and avoid distractions that might pull you off track. Start by writing down your goals and placing them somewhere visible. This could be on a bulletin board, on your desk, or even on your phone as a reminder. The act of seeing your goals regularly reinforces your commitment to them and helps you stay on track. You can also create a vision board, a visual representation of your goals and dreams. Include images, quotes, and reminders that inspire you and keep you focused on what you want to achieve. The more you connect with your vision, the more motivated you'll be to take immediate action. Another great strategy is to break your goals down into smaller milestones and celebrate when you reach them. Each time you hit a milestone, it will give you a sense of accomplishment and propel you forward, building momentum toward your larger goal. Take immediate action and break the cycle of procrastination. Procrastination doesn't have to hold you back from reaching your potential. By understanding why you procrastinate, breaking tasks into smaller steps, creating urgency, and managing your energy, you can overcome this obstacle and take immediate action toward your goals. It's all about building habits that support your success and recognizing the power of now. The moment you decide to take action is the moment you stop procrastinating. Remember that success isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step closer to your goals. If you implement just a few of the strategies we've discussed today, you'll start to see a change in how you approach tasks, how you manage your time, and how you think about your potential. The battle against procrastination isn't won overnight, but with consistent effort and a commitment to taking action, you'll break free from its grip. Now, take a moment to reflect on what you can do right now. What's one small task you can accomplish today that will move you closer to your goal? Don't wait for tomorrow, start now. The key to unlocking your full potential is in your hands, and it all begins with immediate action. Step 16. Focus on the why behind your procrastination. One of the most powerful things you can do to break free from procrastination is to explore the deeper reasons behind why you procrastinate. Often, procrastination is not just about laziness or lack of motivation. It's a symptom of something more significant, such as fear, insecurity, or an internal conflict. Understanding the why behind your procrastination can help you address the root cause and stop avoiding your responsibilities. Are you procrastinating because you're afraid of failing? Are you avoiding tasks because they feel overwhelming or because they don't align with your values? Are you putting off something because you lack confidence in your abilities? For instance, if you're procrastinating because you fear failure, it's important to recognize that fear is a natural part of growth. Fear is not something that should stop you, it should propel you. When you feel fear, it means you're stepping outside your comfort zone and pushing yourself toward growth. Use that fear as a motivator, not an obstacle. On the other hand, if you're procrastinating because a task feels too overwhelming, break it down into smaller parts. Often, the larger a task seems, the more we want to avoid it. When we focus on small steps instead of the entire mountain we have to climb, it becomes easier to start and continue making progress. When you explore the why behind your procrastination, it gives you insight into your fears and insecurities. This awareness allows you to take control of the situation rather than being ruled by it. You can then make a conscious decision to push through the resistance, focusing on the action you can take now instead of staying stuck in hesitation. Step 17. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. A common reason for procrastination is the belief that the right moment has to arrive before you can begin a task. You wait for the perfect conditions, when you have enough time, when you feel more motivated, when everything is aligned. But here's the truth, the perfect moment will never come. Waiting for everything to be perfect is a form of procrastination. It's your mind convincing you that you need more time, more resources, or more preparation to take the first step. In reality, the best time to start is now. Perfection doesn't exist, and waiting for ideal conditions only keeps you stuck. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, commit to making progress with what you have now. Don't wait for the perfect mood or the perfect conditions. Start with what you have and adapt along the way. Perfection is not the goal, progress is. By taking immediate action, even when things aren't perfectly aligned, you'll find that the momentum and confidence you gain will help you improve along the way. If you're waiting for the perfect conditions to get started on a project, break free from that mindset. Start today, even if it's just a small action. As you take that first step, you'll start to gain clarity and the path will open up before you. You don't need to wait for everything to be just right, you need to start with what you have, where you are, and work from there. Step 18. The power of small wins. One of the most effective ways to break the cycle of procrastination is to celebrate small wins along the way. Too often we focus solely on the big goal and overlook the small steps that lead us there. This can create a sense of discouragement as we feel like we're not making enough progress. But small wins matter. They build momentum, reinforce your belief in yourself, and give you the energy to keep moving forward. Each small step you take toward your goal is a victory, and those victories add up over time. Celebrate them. Acknowledge them. For example, if your goal is to write a book, celebrate writing just one paragraph, finishing a chapter, or simply sitting down to write for 30 minutes. Each small accomplishment is a win that gets you one step closer to your ultimate goal. By focusing on these small wins, you shift your mindset from, "I'm not making enough progress," to "Look how much I've done." Small wins also help you build confidence. Every time you complete a task, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you can follow through. This builds trust in your ability to accomplish your goals, and that trust fuels further action. When you celebrate the small victories, you create a positive cycle of motivation and progress. You don't need to wait for the big results to celebrate. Recognizing the small wins along the way makes the journey more rewarding and keeps you energized for the bigger challenges ahead. Step 19. Use visualization to combat procrastination. Visualization is not just for athletes or artists, it's a powerful tool that anyone can use to combat procrastination. When you visualize yourself succeeding, it creates a mental picture of what success looks like. This not only motivates you but also helps you mentally rehearse your actions, making it easier to take the first step. Start by closing your eyes and imagining yourself completing the task you're procrastinating on. Picture yourself working through each step with ease, staying focused and confident. Visualize how it will feel once the task is complete. The relief, the satisfaction, and the sense of accomplishment. The more vividly you visualize your success, the more real it becomes. Your mind begins to associate the task with positive feelings rather than anxiety or fear. By creating this positive mental image, you shift your mindset and reduce the resistance to starting the task. Visualization also helps you prepare for challenges along the way. As you imagine yourself completing the task, picture any obstacles you might face and how you will handle them. This mental rehearsal prepares you to stay focused and resilient, even when things don't go exactly as planned. Before you dive into your next task, take a few moments to visualize your success. Imagine yourself taking action, completing the task with confidence, and enjoying the results. This simple practice will make it easier to overcome procrastination and move forward with clarity. Step 20. Focus on progress, not perfection. A common cause of procrastination is the pursuit of perfection. Many people procrastinate because they fear their work won't be good enough. They want everything to be flawless, and as a result, they end up doing nothing at all. Perfectionism is paralyzing. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of overthinking and indecision. But here's the truth: perfection is an illusion. Nothing in life is perfect, and the pursuit of perfection will only hold you back. Instead of striving for perfection, focus on making progress. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward your goal. It's not about being flawless, it's about being consistent and taking action. Shift your mindset from perfection to progress. Instead of focusing on how well you think you should do something, focus on getting it done. The more you focus on progress, the more you'll realize that done is better than perfect. You can always refine and improve your work later, but the most important thing is to start. By focusing on progress, you give yourself permission to make mistakes, learn from them, and move forward. Perfectionism keeps you stuck in an endless cycle of delay, but progress pushes you toward your goals, one step at a time. So, let go of the need to be perfect. Embrace the idea that progress, no matter how imperfect, is the key to success. Conclusion: overcoming procrastination starts with you. At the end of the day, overcoming procrastination is about taking control of your thoughts, actions, and mindset. It's about making the decision to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start taking action, no matter how small. It's about building habits that support your success and using strategies like time management, visualization, and self-compassion to stay on track. Procrastination is not a permanent condition. It's something you can overcome with the right mindset and the right tools. Every step you take toward overcoming procrastination brings you one step closer to unlocking your potential and achieving your dreams. The key is to start now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect time. The time to act is now. Choose to take that first step, no matter how small, and keep moving forward. You have the power to overcome procrastination. You have the power to create the life you've always wanted. So stop putting it off. Take action. You've got this. Step 21. Leverage the power of positive affirmations. A powerful tool to combat procrastination is the use of positive affirmations. Affirmations are short, positive statements that help you reframe your thinking and shift your mindset toward success. When you tell yourself something positive, especially when you're struggling with procrastination, it helps rewire your brain and boost your motivation. One of the reasons we procrastinate is because we don't believe we are capable of succeeding. We tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that the task is too hard, or that we'll fail anyway. These negative thoughts fuel procrastination, making it feel easier to put things off than to take action. To counter these negative thoughts, start using affirmations. Affirmations help you focus on your strengths and abilities, rather than on the obstacles in your way. They remind you of your power and capability, encouraging you to take action rather than retreat into procrastination. Start your day with affirmations like, I am capable of achieving my goals. I take action even when it's hard. I am confident in my abilities to succeed. Every step I take brings me closer to my goal. I choose progress over perfection. By repeating these affirmations every morning, You set a positive tone for your day and reinforce the belief that you are in control. When you start doubting yourself or feeling the urge to procrastinate, repeat these affirmations to remind yourself of your strength and ability. Affirmations are most powerful when they are specific to your goals. Tailor your affirmations to address areas where you struggle the most. For example, if you often procrastinate on your fitness goals, say, "I am committed to my health and fitness, and I take action every day to improve my well-being." When you make affirmations a part of your routine, you start to build a more positive and proactive mindset, which helps you overcome procrastination. Step 22. Set clear and specific goals. Vague goals are a breeding ground for procrastination. When you don't have a clear and specific goal in mind, it's easy to put things off, thinking, "I'll get to it later." But the more specific you make your goals, the clearer your path becomes, and the more motivated you will be to take action. Setting clear, specific goals helps you stay focused and gives you direction. When your goals are well defined, it's easier to take the first step because you know exactly what you need to do. A specific goal is actionable, and it's easier to break down into smaller, manageable tasks, which prevents the feeling of overwhelm. Instead of setting a goal like, "I want to be healthier," set a specific goal like, "I will work out for 30 minutes every day for the next 2 weeks." Instead of, "I need to write a book," say, "I will write 500 words per day for the next month." Specific goals create clarity and give you a clear target to aim for, which makes it easier to take action. When setting your goals, use the SMART method. Specific. Make sure the goal is clear and unambiguous. Measurable. Ensure you can track your progress and know when the goal is achieved. Achievable. Set a goal that's realistic and attainable. Relevant. Make sure the goal aligns with your larger objectives. Time-bound. Set a deadline for when you want to achieve the goal. By using the SMART method, you make your goals not only specific but also actionable and realistic. And with these clear goals in place, it becomes much easier to break them down into smaller tasks and start working toward them immediately. Step 23. Prioritize your tasks to avoid overwhelm. One of the biggest reasons for procrastination is the overwhelming feeling that comes with having too many things to do. When your to-do list is a mile long, it can be hard to know where to start and you end up avoiding everything. To overcome this, you need to learn how to prioritize your tasks. Start by identifying the most important tasks, those that will have the greatest impact on your goals. These are the tasks that should take precedence. Once you've identified these high-priority tasks, break them down into smaller, actionable steps so you don't feel overwhelmed by the scope of the work. One effective method for prioritizing tasks is the Eisenhower matrix. This method helps you divide tasks into 4 categories. Urgent and important. These are the tasks that need to be done right away. They should be your top priority. Important but not urgent. These tasks are important but can be scheduled for later. Set deadlines for these tasks and work on them consistently. Urgent but not important. These tasks can often be delegated or minimized. Neither urgent nor important. These tasks are time wasters. Avoid them or eliminate them completely. By using this matrix, you can ensure that you are focusing on the tasks that will move you closer to your goals and avoiding tasks that will only waste your time and energy. Another powerful way to prioritize tasks is by using the 2-minute rule. This rule states that if a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it right away. For example, if you need to send a quick email or clean up your workspace, do it immediately instead of putting it off. By taking care of small tasks in the moment, you prevent them from piling up and overwhelming you later. By setting priorities and tackling the most important tasks first, you avoid procrastination and maintain a sense of accomplishment as you check items off your list. As you make progress, you'll feel more motivated to continue working, and the overwhelm will begin to dissipate. Step 24. Create a routine and stick to it. Procrastination often arises when we don't have a structured routine. When you wake up without a plan, it's easy to get distracted and put things off. But when you have a clear routine, you know exactly what needs to be done and when to do it. To overcome procrastination, create a daily routine that aligns with your goals. Your routine should include specific times for working on your most important tasks, as well as breaks to recharge. Establishing a routine removes the need for decision-making during the day. When you don't have to think about what you should be doing next, you can focus all your energy on taking action. Start by identifying the tasks that need to be done every day. Whether it's working on your goals, exercising, eating healthy, or personal development, block out specific time slots for each activity. Set these activities as non-negotiable. No excuses, no distractions. A well-established routine also helps you build momentum. Once you get into the habit of doing certain tasks at the same time each day, they become second nature. You'll no longer have to force yourself to get started because the habit is already ingrained. Consistency is key when it comes to routines. The more consistent you are with your daily habits, the less procrastination will interfere with your progress. Over time, your routine will become a powerful tool for staying focused and avoiding distractions. Step 25. Practice self-compassion and forgiveness. Lastly, overcoming procrastination requires a healthy dose of self-compassion. We often procrastinate because we're afraid of failure, or because we're too hard on ourselves when we don't achieve something perfectly. This cycle of self-criticism only fuels procrastination and makes it harder to take action. Instead of berating yourself when you procrastinate, practice self-compassion. Understand that everyone experiences setbacks and that no one is perfect. When you make a mistake or fall behind on a task, forgive yourself and refocus. Don't let guilt or frustration keep you from moving forward. Instead, acknowledge that you're human, learn from the experience, and take the next step. Self-compassion also means recognizing that your worth is not defined by your productivity. You are not a failure because you procrastinated. You are not defined by your past mistakes. What matters is what you choose to do now, in this moment. By practicing self-compassion, you remove the shame that often accompanies procrastination, and instead, you focus on progress and growth. Embrace action today. Overcoming procrastination is a journey, not a destination. It requires a combination of strategies, mindset shifts, and habits that work together to break the cycle of delay and inaction. Whether you use affirmations, set specific goals, prioritize tasks, or embrace self-compassion, the most important thing is to take action. Procrastination will always be a temptation, but with the tools and techniques you've learned in this audiobook, you now have the power to overcome it. Start small, stay consistent, and focus on progress rather than perfection. Every small step you take will bring you closer to your goals, and over time, procrastination will no longer hold you back. Remember, the best time to start is now. Don't wait for motivation to magically appear. Take that first step, no matter how small, and let the momentum carry you forward. The more you practice these strategies, the easier it will become to overcome procrastination and unlock your potential. Step 26. Reframe your relationship with time. One of the most powerful ways to overcome procrastination is to change your relationship with time. Often, procrastination stems from a sense that we have all the time in the world to accomplish something, which makes it easy to push tasks off. But time is limited, and once it's gone, we can never get it back. Start by recognizing the value of your time. Time is a resource, and every moment you spend procrastinating is a moment you can't get back. This mindset shift is crucial for overcoming procrastination. Instead of thinking about time as something that will always be available, view it as a limited resource that needs to be used wisely. Begin by asking yourself, what am I truly doing with my time? When you procrastinate, you may be wasting time on things that don't contribute to your goals or overall well-being. You may be spending hours scrolling on social media, binge-watching TV shows, or engaging in other activities that don't serve your long-term vision. Recognizing the finite nature of time gives you the urgency to start acting. It encourages you to prioritize the things that matter and stop wasting precious moments on distractions. If you continue to put off what you know is important, you'll wake up one day realizing that time has passed you by. A great exercise to reframe your relationship with time is to track how you spend your day. For a week, write down everything you do, from the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed. Be honest about how much time you spend procrastinating and where your attention goes. Once you have a clear picture of how you're spending your time, you'll be able to identify areas where you're wasting time and make more intentional choices going forward. By changing how you view time, you develop a deeper sense of urgency which helps break the procrastination cycle. Step 27. Use the Eat the Frog technique. The Eat the Frog technique is a time management method that encourages you to tackle your most challenging and important task first thing in the morning. The name comes from a saying by Mark Twain: "Eat a live frog first thing in the morning, and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day." The idea is that if you can do the hardest, most daunting task first, everything else will feel easier in comparison. By tackling your most unpleasant task head-on, you eliminate the dread and stress that come with procrastinating on it. You gain momentum early in the day, and that sense of accomplishment carries you forward. The key to using this technique effectively is identifying your frog each day. This could be a task you've been avoiding, something you know is important but daunting, or something that feels uncomfortable. Maybe it's making a difficult phone call, tackling a big project, or facing a challenging situation you've been putting off. When you wake up in the morning, commit to doing that task first. Don't delay. The longer you put it off, the more you'll increase your resistance and procrastination. But once you take action and complete the task, you'll feel a huge sense of relief and pride. This early win sets a positive tone for the rest of the day. As you practice the Eat the Frog technique, you'll start to realize that the fear of doing difficult tasks is often worse than the actual task itself. Once you get into the habit of taking action on your most challenging tasks first, procrastination will lose its power over you. Step 28. Practice the power of no. One reason we procrastinate is because we feel overwhelmed by too many commitments. We take on too many tasks and responsibilities thinking we can handle it all. As a result, we get bogged down, feel stressed, and procrastinate because we don't know where to start. To overcome this, you need to get comfortable with saying no. Saying no doesn't mean you're being selfish. It means you're prioritizing your time and energy. By saying no to things that don't align with your goals or values, you free up time and mental space to focus on what truly matters. Start by evaluating your current commitments. Are there any that you've taken on out of obligation rather than desire? Are there tasks or activities that drain your energy, leaving you less motivated to take action on what's important? Learn to say no to these things. It might be difficult at first, especially if you're used to pleasing others or taking on too much. But remember that your time and energy are valuable. Every time you say yes to something that isn't aligned with your goals, you're saying no to something that could move you closer to success. One way to practice saying no is by setting boundaries. Let others know that you're prioritizing your time and goals, and that you may not be able to take on additional responsibilities right now. You don't have to apologize or feel guilty. This is about taking control of your time and using it wisely. When you start saying no, you'll find that you have more time and energy to focus on the things that matter most. This will reduce overwhelm and decrease procrastination, allowing you to take action more easily. Step 29. Identify and break negative habits. Procrastination often stems from negative habits that have been ingrained over time. These habits may not seem like a big deal at first, but over time they compound and lead to a cycle of delay and inaction. For example, habits like checking your phone first thing in the morning, delaying tasks until the last minute, or getting caught up in time-wasting activities can all contribute to procrastination. To overcome procrastination, it's crucial to identify these negative habits and replace them with positive ones. Start by becoming aware of the habits that are holding you back. What are you doing each day that leads to procrastination? Is it checking social media? Is it watching too much TV? Are you starting your day without a clear plan? Once you've identified your negative habits, you can start replacing them with more productive habits. For example, instead of reaching for your phone when you wake up, set a morning routine that includes exercising, journaling, or working on your most important task. Instead of watching TV at night, dedicate that time to reading or working on a personal project. Habits take time to change, but the more consistent you are, the easier it becomes. The key is to start small. Focus on replacing one negative habit at a time, and over time, you'll build a routine that supports your productivity and helps you overcome procrastination. Step 30. Surround yourself with positive influences. One often overlooked factor that contributes to procrastination is the influence of those around you. If you're spending time with people who are negative, unmotivated, or complacent, it can rub off on you. On the other hand, surrounding yourself with positive, motivated individuals can inspire you to take action and stay focused on your goals. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow, who encourage you to take action, and who share your drive for success. These people will hold you accountable, motivate you when you're feeling down, and help you stay on track when procrastination tries to take hold. Consider joining a group, whether it's a mastermind, a support group, or a community of like-minded individuals. Being around people who share your goals will create a sense of camaraderie and make it easier to stay motivated. At the same time, don't be afraid to distance yourself from negative influences. If you have people in your life who drain your energy or encourage procrastination, it may be time to reevaluate those relationships. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose your circle wisely. Conclusion: take immediate action and build the life you want. Procrastination may have held you back in the past, but now you have the tools and techniques to break free. Overcoming procrastination is about taking control of your actions, your time, and your mindset. By understanding why you procrastinate, breaking tasks into smaller steps, and using strategies like visualization, accountability, and self-compassion, you can create lasting change in your life. Remember, the key to overcoming procrastination is not waiting for motivation to strike. It's about taking action even when you don't feel like it. Every small step you take adds up over time, and with consistent effort, you'll begin to see the results you desire. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The time to act is now. Take that first step today and keep moving forward, because your potential is waiting for you to unlock it. You have the power to overcome procrastination, achieve your goals, and build the life you've always wanted. Step 31. Build mental resilience. One of the hidden causes of procrastination is mental fatigue. When you are mentally exhausted, your brain has a harder time focusing, and making decisions feels overwhelming. This can lead to procrastination as a way of avoiding the cognitive load. To overcome this, it's essential to build mental resilience, the ability to keep going despite mental fatigue or obstacles. Mental resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something you can develop with practice. The key is to strengthen your mental muscles through habits that build mental toughness and clarity. Mental resilience comes from pushing through discomfort, staying focused in the face of distractions, and being able to handle stress effectively. One of the best ways to develop mental resilience is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness allows you to stay present in the moment, reducing the impact of distractions and negative thoughts. It's about learning to notice when your mind starts to wander or when you feel stressed or anxious, and bringing yourself back to the task at hand. Mindfulness doesn't just involve meditation. It's about applying mindful awareness to everything you do. Whether you're working on a task, talking to someone, or simply going for a walk, practice being fully present in that moment. This reduces mental fatigue and allows you to approach each task with a clear and calm mind. Another key to mental resilience is practicing self-discipline. Resilience is often tested when we feel the urge to give up or when things aren't going as planned. Developing the ability to stick with something, even when it's uncomfortable or frustrating, strengthens your mental resilience. It's about staying committed to your goals even when the going gets tough. When you feel like procrastinating, try to push through those moments of resistance. Take small, deliberate actions and keep your focus on the end goal. Over time, the more you practice resilience, the easier it will be to stay on track and keep pushing forward, even when your mind is telling you to take a break. Step 32. Use the power of habit stacking. Another powerful technique for overcoming procrastination is habit stacking. Habit stacking involves taking an existing habit and stacking a new habit on top of it. By connecting a new behavior to something you already do automatically, you make it easier to adopt the new habit and make it part of your daily routine. For example, if you already have a habit of drinking coffee in the morning, you can stack a new habit on top of that. Perhaps, while drinking your coffee, you can dedicate 5 minutes to reading, journaling, or reviewing your goals for the day. The idea is to take advantage of an existing habit that's already ingrained in your routine, and use it as a trigger for a new, positive action. Habit stacking works because it takes advantage of the momentum of your current habits. You don't need to rely on willpower alone to form a new habit. Instead, you're associating the new behavior with something you already do regularly, making it more automatic and easier to integrate into your life. The key to successful habit stacking is starting small. Don't overwhelm yourself with multiple new habits. Start with one, and once it becomes ingrained, add another. Over time, the stack of positive habits will grow, and you'll have a routine that supports your goals and reduces procrastination. To start, identify an existing habit that's consistent in your day, such as brushing your teeth, making your bed, or getting your morning coffee. Then think about one small, productive task you can do during that time. For example, after brushing your teeth, you could immediately set aside 5 minutes to plan your day or stretch. Over time, these small actions will become habitual, reducing the likelihood of procrastination and creating a sense of accomplishment from the moment you wake up. Step 33. Stop overthinking and just start. One of the biggest contributors to procrastination is overthinking. We often get stuck in our heads, overanalyzing every step, worrying about the outcome, or questioning our abilities. This constant rumination can paralyze us, preventing us from taking any action at all. To break free from this cycle, you need to stop overthinking and just start. The act of taking action, even when it's imperfect, is often the best way to break the cycle of procrastination. Overthinking makes a task seem harder than it actually is. The more you think about it, the more intimidating it becomes. But once you start, you'll realize that the task is often easier than you imagined. One simple technique to combat overthinking is to set a timer. Give yourself a specific amount of time, say 10 or 15 minutes, to work on a task. Knowing that you're only committing to a short period of time makes it easier to get started. When the timer goes off, assess your progress and decide whether to continue or take a break. By setting a time limit, you take away the pressure of needing to do everything perfectly or all at once. Another method is to set a goal of completing just one small part of the task. Instead of worrying about the entire project, focus on the first step. Once you get started, you'll often find that the next steps come more easily. Taking that first action is the hardest part, but once you push through it, momentum kicks in, and procrastination no longer has the same power over you. Step 34. Build a startup ritual. One way to make getting started easier and overcome procrastination is by developing a startup ritual. This is a specific set of actions you take every time you begin working on a task, designed to signal to your brain that it's time to focus and get to work. Your startup ritual could be something simple, like lighting a candle, listening to a specific song, or doing a few deep breaths before sitting down to work. The purpose of the ritual is to help transition your brain from a state of distraction to a state of focus. By creating a routine that you follow every time you start, you signal to your brain that it's time to switch gears and focus on the task at hand. The key to a successful startup ritual is consistency. The more often you repeat your ritual, the more automatic it becomes. Over time, your brain will associate the ritual with productivity, making it easier to transition into focused work and overcoming the resistance to starting. Step 35. Cultivate patience with the process. Patience is often overlooked when it comes to overcoming procrastination. We live in a world that rewards instant gratification, where we expect results right away. This desire for instant results can lead to frustration, especially when tasks feel like they're taking longer than expected. However, the process of achieving success takes time. It requires consistency, effort, and, most importantly, patience. If you're trying to overcome procrastination, it's important to acknowledge that the journey is not always fast, but every small action you take is moving you closer to your goal. Patience doesn't mean passive waiting. It's about staying consistent and continuing to take action, even when you don't see immediate results. Understand that progress is gradual. When you cultivate patience, you allow yourself to focus on the process, rather than obsessing over the end result. By developing patience with the process, you reduce the pressure to perform perfectly and free yourself from the need to rush. Embrace the journey and trust that every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your goal. When you shift your mindset from rushing to trusting the process, procrastination loses its hold. Final thoughts. Mastering your potential. Overcoming procrastination is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about developing the habits and mindset that help you take consistent action, no matter how small the step. From understanding the root cause of procrastination to implementing techniques like visualization, habit stacking, and creating a startup ritual, each strategy helps you break the cycle and unlock your full potential. The journey to overcoming procrastination and achieving your goals is a marathon, not a sprint. But every small effort you make toward improving your productivity adds up. With patience, focus, and the right strategies, you can overcome procrastination and build the life you've always dreamed of. The time to act is now. There will always be reasons to wait, to hesitate, or to put things off. But the only way to move forward is to take that first step and then keep going. Procrastination doesn't have to control your life. You have the tools, the mindset, and the power to take immediate action and unlock your true potential. Don't let procrastination hold you back any longer. Start now, take action today, and keep moving forward, one step at a time. Your future self will thank you.